Yo, shout out to my boy Bitlord. You already know what it is, guys. We here, Token 2049 in Singapore. Yo, the haters, bro. You already know what's up.
Man, this guy won like best KOL, #1 in the industry. Nobody can that. It is what it is. Talk as much as you like. This guy here is #1, so put your respect on his name. Professor Krypto, that's where it's at.
7 years I've been grinding. Best content creator in the game. You guys already know what it is.
#1.
Go watch my videos, then talk your
I'm not a financial advisor.
So a lot of people know this story about Professor Krypto. He won this Content Creator of the Year award. And as a person who has actually won a lot of legitimate awards, I would like to tell you guys why it's a good thing that this guy was laughed off of Twitter. And he also needs to be laughed out of being able to do sponsored deals with projects. Because I actually know Professor Krypto in a very loose way. I have met him in person. In September of 2018, there was an event called the Busto Influencer Retreat. And a lot of us who are early influencers in the space, I only have like maybe 2,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, 4,000, somewhere around there. And I got invited. I was the smallest one that got invited out there, and this is where I met a lot of people in the space. I met Elio Trades, met him there. Crypto Beatles was there. There were several others. I'm trying to think of it just in my brain who was there. Crypto Blood was there. I can't remember if Rice was there. I don't think Rice was there. Crypto Love was there. There were just a lot of content creators, many of them who are still in the space doing different things. Some of them have disappeared. But the point is that a lot of us were brought there, and I believe it was in order for people to start getting their hooks into early influencers, to be able to down the road shill projects and do different things through that. And so one of the people who was out there was Professor Krypto. It was actually him and one other gentleman. I cannot remember what this guy was, Crypto Wizard or something. It was very similar to Crypto Professor. And these were both guys that were just all about the image. I remember they had these ponytails and they had on gold chains all over them, and they looked like they were ready to go to the club at any given moment and things like that. And I had already looked into these guys. I already knew this early into my career that these guys were scammers. And I will explain how they did the scam. And it's very common. The projects do a little better job of seeing this today. But back then, it was very obvious to me because I spent a lot of time doing business or online entrepreneurship, and I knew about fake clicks and fake traffic and yada, yada, yada. So what these guys did, they had him and his buddy, they were both from Toronto, I believe, and they had over 100,000 subscribers each. And what they would do is they would just buy subscribers, and then they would play a video. They would buy a proportionate amount of links and a proportionate amount of comments. Now, the interesting thing was, and this was back in 2018, so these were pretty early kind of bot comments for crypto. And what was really interesting is one day, I was suspicious. I was very suspicious. One day I went through and I discovered that they accidentally, and you'll see this sometimes, they accidentally double commented. So every one of the profiles that made comments made the same comment twice. And I can't remember what happened. I can't remember if I said something about it or somebody said something about it in the group, or if nobody said anything about it. Maybe one of the projects that they were shilling. The thing about it is, they're literally making thousands of dollars for sponsorships that don't exist. And I don't know if that guy is doing this today still, I don't know, but I know he was doing it, which means he is a scammer and fraud. And he built his channel doing this. What it does mean is it does mean that they're scamming projects. And that's bad for the entire crypto influencing space, along with, imagine the quality of project that would allow this guy to do this. You almost don't feel sorry for them if they can't do their due diligence and see a guy like this as a fraud. It really is sad to me, honestly. So I do remember there was one really kind of funny story where a lot of people know, like back in the day, I went to rehab in 2007, and I remember I was with Elio Trades and we were talking, and I walked outside, and Professor Krypto and his buddy, I wish I could remember his name. Maybe it was something laboratory, Crypto Laboratory, maybe, whatever it was. They were smoking a gigantic blunt there at the hotel in San Francisco. And I mean, it looked like a Cuban cigar. And I just talked to Elio and I told him a little bit of my story. I just will never remember, as I'm walking out of the hotel, it was the Kimpton in San Francisco. and I'm walking towards those guys, and I just stopped to him and I talked to him for a second. I think weed maybe had just become legal in California or something like that. And I just stand there with him. And I just remember Elio just comes running out the door. And he's like, big boy, no, don't do it, big boy. It's like, I was just talking to the guys, it's whatever. It's not like that's a big deal. But I just never remember Elio. He was a little drunk. And he was stumbling and yelling as he was walking out the door, so I thought that was a pretty funny story to share with you guys. But yeah, I don't know what this Professor Krypto does today, but I did just look and I saw his logo is definitely the same guy for 100%. I've always done everything organically in my career. That's actually a lie. That's a lie. Very early on, I did experiment. I've talked about this on my channel before. It really set me back. I experimented with buying subscribers when I was less than 5,000 subscribers, and I turned it off. And it kept running for a few more months, and it ran up to 7,000 subscribers total on my channel. This would have been probably December 2018. And then they had this big bot cleanup. Some people lost upwards of 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers. Some of these guys lost 90% of their subscribers. I only had about 1,000 out of my 7,000 that they cleaned up, and I was glad that they did it. And that would have been December 2018. I started my channel, of course, in January 2018, and ever since then, I just realized what a bad mistake that was. And it wasn't like I bought it; was kind of like a click for click. Like I paid for this package where people would come and they would subscribe for my channel. It's kind of an advertisement for this service, but they were not engaged, and that really hurt me, blowing up numbers. And thankfully, I experimented with it, and I was told to do it, by the way. I was told to do it by people that manage many of the big YouTubers that you know today. And I did it myself for a little tiny bit. And then after that, everybody knows me. My channel exploded in 2020. So, it's not like that, 2,000 bots that I had and maybe 2,000 people that were doing that program that were just dead subscribers that just sat there and did nothing. It did nothing but hurt me. And I've done it. I've talked to people about this. Like, you don't want to blow your numbers up at all. Let them be what they are. You have people like Mario and Rand who use AI to get a lot of their views. A lot of their views are real. They're low quality. They're low quality views. They're not people that really care about what they're watching. They get driven there, shown that for some reason, and most of them come in and click off, and they have to create a lot of engagement in terms of Rand has to create a lot of engagement with comments on his channel and things, because a lot of the viewers that are coming in and watching, they're not participating at all. And I don't even know, it may be AI bots even that go in and just click it and watch. I'm not sure, but it's very obvious that they're using that. And I don't have as much of a problem with that. I think that is actually, it is a legitimate way to get views. You're just hurting your channel and your engagement when you have views that are empty. It's much different than someone actually buying subscribers from a service. Like, you can do it anytime, and then making it appear as if that channel is legitimate. And because it appears legitimate, that means that sponsor dollars start rolling into it. And what you guys don't know is a lot of these crypto companies are not legitimate. A lot of these crypto projects are strictly ways that people who hacked money early on or had money from Bitcoin they bought early, or either they maybe used the Silk Road and had a bunch of Bitcoin from different drugs, maybe they're selling drugs online or something. They just had a lot of Bitcoin. What they can do is they can create a project. And this is what a lot of you guys don't realize. Back in 2017, when people would create these ICOs and they got caught several times using fake staff members, like just from Adobe stock, they pulled some photos and put it. One company literally used a picture of Ryan Gosling. You can look this up. It's real on their website. It said he was, an accountant or advisor, whatever it was, but it wasn't Ryan Gosling. It was a picture of Ryan Gosling, but they gave the guy a different name, and it was a very famous little thing that happened. What a lot of you guys don't realize, that seems stupid. Like, how could this company, it's because they were never started to be a real company at all. What it was supposed to be is a way to raise money, and then what they could do is from their crypto holdings that were off the books that they have hidden or had earlier, they then could use that money to invest in that project and make that project go up, and then they could pump and dump it and get other people to come in and buy their coins from them. And now it's done in a way where they can kind of hide their tax benefits and stuff. So there's a lot to this. There's a lot to the influencing game. You guys know I love talking about it. I know a lot of people in the influencing game don't like that I talk about it. And I'll tell you, you got this guy Ansem. He's talking about, he had this video where he said that, I was he is the KOL of today, the KOL, the key opinion leader of today, the KOL. And I was the KOL back in 2020. He doesn't realize I'm going to end up being the biggest game this time. But I don't want to spoil that for you guys. Well, what I do want to say is that back in my day, we had to represent Kim K, Kim Kardashian. That's right, way back before Kim K got in trouble for Ethereum Max for shilling it by the SEC. She was just making videos of Ray J, and you know what she became? The first influencer. That's right, Ansem. I'm not a KOL. I'm an influencer. You may have been adopted by this crypto influencing game. I birthed it. Bitboy out.